Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome to the Little Reader's house. I'm the Little Reader, and you're in my house. And if you're new here, welcome. You are so very loved and desired. Your presence is an honor. What we do here is we get cuddly and cozy, and then we allow Spirit to say whatever Spirit would like to say. And I, Amanda, serve as the channel and do my best to stay out of the way unless it will add some loving, authentic insight. So you've landed. Get cozy. Get comfy. Let's go. So Spirit's message today actually came early while I was preparing to set up. Sometimes I don't know what's happening until I'm seated and we're rolling. But other times, before I can even get all the accoutrements together, the word on the street's already coming around the mountain and all the things like that. So here's what Spirit's asking of the collective today, of beautiful you sweet, sovereign, powerful soul that is tuned in to get revved up on the juice of the divine. Spirit is asking the collective to stop beating themselves up for not being ready. Yeah. Right to the corazón. Spirit's saying, beautiful soul, stop beating yourself up for not being ready. For not being ready to make the call. For not being ready to send the email. For not being ready to quit the job, for not being ready to apply for the job, for not being ready to move, for not being ready to stay, for not being ready to say hello or goodbye, to shoot off the text or to unsend it, to do whatever it is that you, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful soul, can feel is in your heart space, percolating. But you can't yet turn it into an action. It can be self-care related, not being ready to commit to movement, not being ready to commit to sleep, not being ready to commit to sobriety or to beginning to ingest a substance that will help balance chemistry within the body. As we connect to the realm of half forms, our mental space, through the portal within our form, we have so many portals in this form, but the one we use primarily is connect to the realm of mind. The realm of mind takes the bioelectromagnetic frequencies of everything swirling inside of you and around you, and it produces images, half forms. They're not manifest, we can't touch them, but the mind gives them image, it gives them sensation, it gives them sound, even smell. It gives them a reality only you can touch. And the mind can take messages being sent out from the heart about what the heart is in the process of attracting or moving toward. And the mind can interpret that data, that bioelectromagnetic field, and turn it into images and show us what's to come. This is something that we often call intuition, or our clairs, clairaudient, clairsentient, claircognizant. There is one having to do with smell. But I'll get back to you on that. The mind can show us little peeks and previews. Like if you made that call, oh, look at my rock. It's aquamarine. The mind can show us if you made that call, look at the types of outcomes that the heart is magnetically attracting based on that action. When we tap into our intuition, even our gut We can do a similar thing by feeling. We might not see the form with our mind, but we can feel it in our abdominal region with our nervous system and digestive system working in tandem. So it's not like we don't know. It's not like we don't know what the directive is. But we can't seem to take the step. Or if we take the step, we can't sustain the step. We may be able to initiate a conversation that needs to happen, but then we can't follow through in upholding the boundaries or the requests or the shifts that were stated in that conversation. We may be able to incorporate a small amount of movement, but we can't seem to ground it into a habitual revisiting of movement every day, into a discipline. And Spirit sees that and holds so much unconditional love for it. Spirit says, what makes you think that that's wrong? What makes you think that your lack of readiness is your fault? What makes you think that you, the form, and the mind need to punish yourself with ruminating thoughts and escapism and disassociation and resentment toward the self and others for something that you may very well have absolutely no control over? Spirit says our perspective of self-control and of willpower is an unnatural one, because we believe in mind over matter. But as Spirit has been revealing through our transmissions of late, if you've been following along, doesn't matter how lofty of a belief or how powerful of a belief you buy into. You could buy into the belief that you can fly. Then you step off the roof of your house and have a reality check. And Spirit says it's not because you didn't believe it enough. The whole premise of believe in a thought to make it your reality has become law in so many people's minds because they saw from a distance how that premise, believe in the thought until you make it your reality, worked for other people. And those other people may have even said, yeah, this is how I did it. I just believed. I just believed. I just believed. But at the time, those individuals who believed until they achieved or believed until they became didn't have the understanding that they were actually tapping into the heart center all along. They were believing in the compass of their heart that was directing them. They weren't believing in their thoughts. They weren't constructing a mental premise and then just sending all their mental energy to that. They may have done that in part. That might have been a little bit of their formula. But what was fueling them is the fact that those thoughts were reflections of what was already in their heart. Then we as outsiders got a load of this. It was called all kinds of things. Visualization, manifestation, law of attraction. And we got into this thing that, okay, whatever my thoughts are, that's what dictates my reality. So I'll construct what I want. And I'll just send so much energy to those thoughts, or I'll take the thoughts and I'll juice them for dopamine because I like those thoughts so much. And that's how it'll all come to be. A misunderstanding, beautiful soul. A misunderstanding. And we realize it's a misunderstanding when we look at how the so-called law doesn't apply to all thoughts. Manifest a bicycle, but you can't manifest the ability to levitate? If a thought is a thought is a thought, then what's going on here? Manifest $5? Can't manifest 500 million? If a thought is a thought is a thought, then what's going on here? Can manifest a flirt at the bar. Can't manifest a marriage? What's going on here? Spirit would like us to revisit just how much we think we're in charge of creating our reality. Because the idea that we create our reality, both through thought and action, is causing immense pain. More pain than pleasure. And Spirit says it's just another thought. Spirit would like us to buy into our thoughts less and to move that awareness when possible to the heart. This is where all desires are stored. This is the compass to destiny. This is the manual to your purpose. Not this. This. So when you get a sense that there's something you need to do, or you want to do, and you can feel it here, that's why it's so bothersome. You can't just put it out of your mind. It keeps coming back because the heart itself is what's generating the form into the mind. It's not something that you had to go look out in society and say, okay, that's the status symbol that'll get me the love. All right, I'll go for that then. No, this thing is coming from in here. It appeared on its own and now it won't go away. And it requires an action step. And you know what the step is, but you can't do it. Perfect. That's exactly where you're supposed to be. You're not messing up. You're not failing. You're succeeding. You're thriving. And you're learning to appreciate the fourth dimension. Time. Learning to appreciate the fourth dimension is the prerequisite to entering the fifth dimension. Learning to be at peace with time, irrespective of how it moves. Learning to own it for the purpose of diving in deeper to your heart, diving in deeper to the perfect present moment, diving in deeper to the divine beings around you. Is exactly why you can't take the action step right now, beautiful soul. Because you're not supposed to. You're supposed to simply sit with its presence. Acknowledge the thought, acknowledge the desire, acknowledge how your heart's beacon is putting out a binary code, a frequency, that the mind interprets and translates into a form. Don't attach to that form, that half form rather, because you can't touch it. Don't attach to it. Acknowledge it's there. Ah, yes. I'd like that. I even know what I need to do to get that. I can't find it within myself to do that. And that's absolutely okay. Absolutely okay. Even if I'm certain that that thing will ensure my utmost happiness, all I can bring myself to do is sit right here and witness that there's a desire emerging from my heart. And if it's entered my mind, it won't be long until it's born into form. But the distance from half form to form is not mine to control, even if I know the step I have to take to get there. This is not a matter of willpowering it out, beautiful soul. When in doubt, willpower it out. Oh, grit your teeth until they break. Apply the energy you don't have, and force yourself into a frequency you can't sustain. No. Sit and witness the presence. And let your heart know that you trust it to move you when the moment is right. And beautiful soul, Spirit says when the moment is right, you won't be able to stop yourself. You will not be able to stop yourself from sending the text. You won't be able to stop yourself from shooting off the email, from quitting the job, from popping the question, from removing yourself from the situation, from booking the plane ticket, from going to the concert, from having the meeting, from communicating the feeling, from changing your purpose on paper, from pursuing a new career path, from getting yourself back into school. Whatever it is, you will not be able to stop yourself. You will be compelled by the heart. There are certain pieces of information that are not beneficial to go into great depth about now, as it would give the mind fodder to spin, to make those machinations happen, but it wouldn't be useful to creating an experience. Nevertheless, Spirit still wants to communicate that the mind was never in control. It's always been the heart. This is one of the reasons why most of humanity felt like they have absolutely no control over their life. Because they've always lived through the mind. We've lived through the mind for the most recent human history. Thousands of years of sentient recorded time. Even more. The mind has been in charge. When in reality, it's the heart that has the power. Spirit says, rather than think about this, because that's the mind's first inclination. Now, wait a second. How? Instead, sit. Witness. Shift. Awareness from the thoughts that go by to the rise and fall of your chest. Practice. peering into this space as if there were entire books of guidance, inspiration, personalized love there. Any kind of book. It could be a picture book. You don't have to read it. It could be a song. It could be music. And all you'll have to do is get in the presence of it to be touched by it. Practice. For even a shred of your day, moving all of that awareness that's always in our head, obsessed with the mind, obsessed with our thoughts, obsessed with the belief that reality is taking place up here. Practice shifting that awareness here. This is where the power lies. And even if you just spend a small bit of your time to start here each day, because it's so powerful, it will shift your entire life. It will activate you in ways you've never known. And suddenly, your movements will have power and momentum behind them. Even the simplest, smallest choices will be like Thor's hammer, radiating for miles the sound, the vibration, because now you're aligned with the source. There's no filter between you. Whereas a life spent looking at the world through the mental realm, countless filters of immense density. You are doing a wonderful job, beautiful soul. Have grace, have patience in the process of moving that awareness, of working through this shift. Give yourself immense grace for the in-between time of where you find yourself and where you know you're headed. You're meant to feel the seconds and minutes and hours and days and weeks between these 2 points. You're meant to integrate with the 4th dimension, to bring love into the 4th dimension. And as you integrate with the 4th dimension, integrate with your own heart as preparation to enter the 5th dimension. There's no mistake about it. You're strong. You're brilliant. You're brave. You're wise. You're divine. You're the source. So although your form and your personality, your image, your aesthetic, your feed, well, it may all feel a little bleak because the world of mind in which most of the collective is dwelling always wants to feel as if it's moving toward the next thing. Understand that you are exactly where you are meant to be. Stuck is holy. Stuck is sacred. Look at this rock. It may never change again unless some external force takes something to it. This beautiful aquamarine crystal may look like this forever. But Spirit doesn't look at this and go, oh, stuck. No, it's holding a vibration. It's holding a pattern. It's emitting an energy. And so are you. You're both emitting and receiving in this moment valuable, valuable, valuable energy. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. Exactly. Even if you feel as stuck as a rock. Sit with it and say, I'm a rock. Amandanite. That would be me, Amanda. Name yourself. Drop it in the comments. What's your rock name? What's your crystal name? Celebrate the stuckness, beautiful soul. It has purpose. It's valuable. And when the time is right to move, you will not be able to stop yourself. If you can, in your state of stuckness, increase your self-love to max capacity. If you devote all of that awareness to your heart, to loving this form, to loving this mind, to loving the experience going around in your space, to loving the internal experience in this space. You'll find yourself riding the wave into your greatest destiny, into your Dharma, as if you yourself had designed it. And maybe you did. That's where we're leaving it today, beautiful soul. It's been an honor and a privilege sharing space and time with you. Until we meet again, I am sending you all the love I've got. If this channeled message would be valuable for a loved one who's feeling a little stuck, please share it with them. Let the people know you are divine. Until we meet again, beautiful soul. Bye for now.